It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 231. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, sad news about the voice of Edmont de Fortemps, regarding changes in congested preferred worlds, removal of belts in patch 6.0, new optional item available, Tales from the Twilight, Hironobu Sakaguchi and Yoshi Special Talk at Tokyo Game Show 2021 online is soon. We have changes to the high-quality items in patch 6.0 info. Letter from the Producer Live Part 66 Digest has been released. And what is the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Media Tour, and when will info be released? We also have developers blog, fan comments, but first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on? Hey, Ruby. Hey, Kariri.
Hello, hello.
Yo.
Hello. It's another week. Let's see. Ruby, how you doing? And what you been up to?
I am great. Hope y'all are doing well. Hope all of our listeners are doing well. It's been a good couple of weeks. Played a little more than I had been, I think, previous episodes. So just kind of slowly getting back in. Again, work-related wise, it's my busy season. So I work a lot of weekends in the month of October, late September, all through October. Slows down for me again in November, but it kind of keeps me from my weekend play, so I don't get to do that a whole lot. And most of my play comes between like 9 and 11 p.m. on weekdays. So that's really what I've been doing, just kind of some easy stuff, roulettes and that kind of thing. But I've been focusing on low-level jobs. I just wanted to get some melee jobs up, some roles that I really don't have and I really don't play. And partially I want to lean into Reaper. Not hardcore, it'll be down the list for me, but I wanted to get Dragoon going so I had a good idea of how a job like that might feel. So I've been leveling Dragoon. I got it up to 57. Been loving it. Again, I talked about like how the quests are kind of weird. Well, the Heavensward set aren't really so bad because there's less Estinian and more of that other lady. But so far so good. I'm enjoying it. I was out leveling Dragoon the other day, and I got a message I got to tell, and I want to give a shout out to Quinn Lioncourt, who tapped me while I was out in Sea of Clouds or something like that. And we talked for quite a bit about Endwalker hype, about Reaper a little bit. Quinn drives a truck and listens to us on the road, so good trucking out there. Thanks for listening. So that was cool, and got some levels while I was out there doing fates. I take it into dungeons, and I take it into the Alliance roulettes, and I take it into a little bit of other content, and it's really kind of opened some stuff up for me because I don't typically run the Alliance content. Some of them I just don't want to slog through. So now that I've been leveling a job that's in the 50s, I've been getting like Labyrinth of the Ancients. And maybe that's what I'd be getting anyway, but I've been getting Labyrinth of the Ancients a lot. And it's actually really fun on a job that you're learning. It's cool to do some Dragoon backflips and get out of the flare mechanic on that last boss fight. So I've been having a lot of fun with that, and I've been getting stuff for future relics, so that when my Dragoon gets up to snuff, I can get its relic. So that's been fun, and that's also partially I'm leveling with my wife. She's been leveling Astrologian, and once I was behind, now I'm too far ahead. So I jumped onto Warrior. And not that I'm like pro tank or anything. I just wanted to again get some of these low level jobs up. So I forgot all about the squadrons, that they can run some dungeons, and I ran Brayflocks, and I got a shit ton of experience by doing that.
Fun.
I think I went from like 33 to 35, like real fast on Warrior. Doing that. It's not that I've got tank anxiety. I just wanted to kind of remember how to play that before I played with other people. So that was a nice little thing. I wish they were more intuitive. I wish those squadrons were a little more intuitive. The trusts are a little better. They're not greatly better, but at least you're not like constantly telling them attack this
spamming
mob.
them to go attack
please.
this, go attack this one.
I mean, the healer really is like, and I know they ain't DPSing, but they're really like, I'm gonna wait till you get to about 100 HP.
Oh no!
Before I drop a Cure 2 on you. It's really spooky. So I had a lot of fun doing that. I think I ran Brave Lux twice, and that was it was fun to use those guys again. They got a couple of level ups. Do those doots. Work your squadron if you got them. Get those extra XP buffs. I know we, as a free company, have been working on our XP buffs. I think I've got one that I got to pull out of the that little chest that charges.
Oh yeah, the little grade thing,
right?
Ethereal charger thing.
Yep. I got to pull one out of that and stick another one in there so we can have our level 3 experience buff. Ooh. I thought about that a little bit. I was running these dungeons. You know, they said some of these dungeons, I don't know if it was all of them, but when we get to Endwalker, we'll give the experience at the end of the dungeon, not per mob. And I was thinking, what's the point of those experience scrolls if you're not getting XP per mob? You know, that's something to think about. So I'm still farming them up anyway. I think they'll be useful in some content. It may not be all dungeons that affects. So still farming up stuff. I urge you to as well. And just get in preparation for Endwalker. We are. And we as a podcast are. One thing I wanted to mention that I've been working on behind the scenes as well is that our YouTube channel, if you are not subscribed to the Gather Together YouTube channel, you're not missing much. But slowly but surely, it's filling up. So we've been putting our backlog of episodes up on our YouTube channel. And I don't have it in front of me. Just search for the GTFFXIV YouTube. And so we've got all the Stormblood stuff up there now. The Shadowbringer stuff up there now. I'm working on Stormblood now, then Heaven's Word. We do have, I think, our 14 or 15 first episodes during A Realm Reborn up there. So you can check out our full history. We will be putting the new episodes up, so hopefully this one will go up in a timely manner. And thanks for listening. Sub, like, smash that like button, subscribe, yada yada.
Notification bell.
All the notification bell. We've been hearing our subscribers have been getting knocked off of the subscriber list. Hit that notification bell to make sure that you are still subscribed to our channel. Anyway, so all good stuff in the future. I'm excited for Endwalker. That was one thing that Quinn told me. He's like, I really love the hype that you guys have for Endwalker coming up. And I told him I get Heaven's Word vibes, and I mean that on a level that I'm happy that I'm getting to play with Kariri. The last time we seriously played was in Heaven's Word. Other people who've been not playing as much are back to playing, and I just feel like that there's a good vibe right now, so I'm ready to ride this ship to the moon. So super excited about what's coming up next. Yelta, tell us what you've been up to.
Well, you missed one thing about Quinn.
Oh, what's that?
Yeah.
They joined the free company.
Oh, no shit, huh?
Yeah.
I was not aware. What up, Quinn?
Yeah, I think the day that they joined, I popped on and you had put in the notes to mention Quinn, and I'm like, this Quinn?
Did not know. Welcome, Quinn.
Yeah. I have really kind of been playing other things. There's not a whole lot in the game I want to do right now. I did run, I think in the last couple of weeks I've popped on and I ran a couple things with Kariri. I think I did like Mentor Roulette a couple times and did like some fishing. I've been working on my fishing achievements, which is thrilling, but I do like to grind out everything. So that's really about it. So I'm going to just turn it right on over to Kariri.
Let's see. Yeah, pretty much everything Yelta did online. I was on voice chat with her the whole time, so it's been really fun even when it's been really chill and she's been fishing and I'm getting so excited about the storyline, and so it's really nice going to Yelta and going, oh, this person just did this thing, and oh, it turned out that this person was this, and oh, they're still alive, roll my eyes, So it's been great there. I did all of the content after Stormblood up to Shadowbringers, and then just the last couple days I started on the Shadowbringers quest, so without being spoilery, I've gotten to the part I'm almost done with where it splits off into following one person and then following another person, a male and female. I've almost finished following them both.
We're way past spoilers. We're way past spoilers.
Yeah. I'm not, but you guys are. Yeah. But I was just thinking, I know it's been mentioned, we've got quite a few new listeners ourselves. So I don't know how much to say or not say, because they might not be as far as I am even. But yeah, so I did a bunch of that, and still slogging away at that. I want to get that done, obviously, before the expansion comes out. So I want to be on the moon with the rest of you. I unlocked a ton of dungeons and raids and all of that extra shit. Any of those blue shields with the plus sign I've been picking up the last couple days, just trying to get everything unlocked. I haven't gone into any of them, mind you, but I've gotten all of them unlocked so that if we feel like, knocking some stuff out someday, that I got them all lined up. And
I could take a break from staring at the New World login screen or queue. Then we could probably knock out all of them in less time.
Probably, yes. So, I also unlocked Mahjong. I haven't played yet, and I unlocked that fashion thingy, and I haven't done it yet. I did that special crossover event, and I did a tiny bit of decorating at Yelta's house in Grid, and my latest obsession is chocobo racing and breeding. I got my first chocobo to rank 40. I retired him, I bred him, and got my baby chocobo today, and I'm already at 38 again, because I can't stop. I don't know why, but I can't stop. Yeah, I'm having fun, though. I'm having fun. I'm figuring it out. I'm remembering how it all works. I did pop my head into, was it Verminion the other day? And that was awful, because I did not remember how to do anything. So, but I probably will play a little of that too. I don't know. I just had the Golden Saucer on my brain because, Ruby was mentioning you got all the old episodes up, or not all of them, but you're getting them all up there. And I went back and listened to the first episode and the second episode, and the first episode was the release of the Gold Saucer. So it was just like, wow, this takes me back. So I had to go and remember all of this stuff and play all the mini games and do a couple of the gates and race my chocobo and just try all the things again, because there have been some changes since I played. They released a couple different games or different gates. Like, there's one where you're in a little plane and you're shooting things down like a Disney ride.
Oh, yeah.
That one I kind of enjoyed quite a bit. I hate that platform jumping one. That one is just awful. But yeah, I've just been playing quite a bit. I've been doing storyline, trying to catch up there, and trying to, space it out nicely with silly fun stuff, too. So I also have mastered the glamour plates now. That one took me a little while, but I've got that all figured out. So I had to go repurchase 3 retainers that I had back when I originally played. So I now have 5 retainers that I don't need, but I had them because we didn't have armoires, and we didn't have the glamour dresser, and we didn't have any of that shit, so I had to store all of it on these retainers, so I had to repurchase them to get all my fun costumes back. But now I got them, and I got them stuck in the right places, so now I got all sorts of, I went and found my old Halloween stuff, and Valentine stuff, and Christmas stuff, and all the fun stuff. I got little Scion outfits, and I got my little Gridania uniform because I love Gridania. And I've just been going nuts. I could go on and on, but I will shut up here. But it's been exciting. It's been fun, and doing the silly, lighthearted stuff as well as the main serious storyline has been just really great.
Awesome. Yeah, Lord of Verminion and the Mahjong are both kind of like hard to get into, I feel like, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's got quite a.
All right.
Verminion at least has quite a tutorial, because that's what I did. I tried one game and I'm just like, nope. And then I went back and did the tutorial again, and that started getting me going. But yeah, no, it's not the easiest game, and I would not recommend trying that without doing the tutorial.
I find the controls funky. I understand the game
Mechanically,
how
yes.
it works. But mechanically I understand it, but I find it hard to
It's clunky.
play, I guess. Yeah. All right, you can shoot the shit with us on the website, www.gtffxiv.com. While you're there, I don't know. What was I going to say? All right. The first round is news. The first note is sad. Stephen Critchlow, voice of Final Fantasy XIV, Edmond de Fortemps, is dead at age 54. And that sucks, man. We've lost a few voice actors through the years.
Correct. And it does seem like it's Heaven's Word that has the most loss of any of the expansions. So this is a sad thing. He's got other talents, and thank you to Gamer Escape had a small article here that says some of the other work that that Stephen Critchlow had done. Downton Abbey, Red Dwarf. I love Red Dwarf.
I love Red Dwarf. And 54 is
really
very
is.
young. That's kind of disturbingly
I think
young.
it hit me a little, I didn't know the guy or anything, obviously, but I was just going through all of his content right when he passed. And, like, one day after, I got this cutscene with him, and it just, he said, "And press onward we must. Farewell, my friend. I pray our next meeting will be under happier circumstances." And that just kind of got me.
Oh, yeah. Well, and he's like your dad through all
Exactly.
through all of Heaven's Word. He's your dad. So that's sad. We all kind of
Definitely. And there were lots of little candlelight vigils on a whole bunch of the different servers, and a lot of people were doing sort of demonstrations showing, it was very sweet.
Kariri, not to, stay on a sad topic here, but did you, or were you around when the Father of Light stuff was coming on the TV show? There was a Final Fantasy XIV show that aired in Japan, and it got translated over here, but it was about a boy and his father that were bonding together.
I don't know anything about that.
Over Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, it's on Netflix. It's Dad of Light.
Dad
You
of
should watch
Light.
it. It was
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
Dad of Light. So, also, listener, if you've not heard of Dad of Light, go watch it. But we lost the father in that show. He died over the past year or 2 years. So another sad loss. But I knew you had been gone, Kariri, so I don't want you to miss out on a really great show.
Yeah, I
Dad of Light.
appreciate it.
There was a movie, too, but did we ever get a treatment of that over here?
I don't know that we did.
Did it ever get released over? Because there was a movie, right? I'm not just losing my mind. Okay. Yeah, they've made some interesting and cool media based on this game. All right, regarding changes in congested and preferred worlds, they've swapped it all up. So previously all worlds on the North American Data Center were designated as congested, but since they've had people create their characters on or change their home world, they've relieved some of the stress. So the North American Data Center are not all congested. So there's a whole list of where they are. So Japan's data center, they've changed some of them to preferred worlds, Atomos, Malayas, Garuda, Masmusin, Remu, and Unicorn, and some of them have changed to standard world. North America, some of ours were changed to a standard world. None of ours are preferred. Is that correct? There's an image. Actually, the image is actually better. There it is. There's a link to it. So it shows in real time which ones are online, have maintenance. You can create characters on. You can't create characters on. So Aether and Primal are all standard, and Crystal is preferred, it looks like. So, and I think that one changes. I think this one's in real time. So, like, if you can't create new characters during the day, sometimes at night you can. I think those will switch. So, that's good. They kind of balance their worlds out pretty well. Have you ever played on a preferred world? The XP is insane.
Wow. Yeah. I know the big news out of this was everybody wanted to be on Aether, and Aether got locked down. So, the fact that Aether is even on standard... You might have to do one of them 3 a.m. make a character deals, but you can make one.
All right, then the removal of belts in patch 6.0. As we have all been told a few times now, Belts are going away, and you're not going to be able to equip them or obtain them or anything. They're going to put the armory chest slots to use for primary weapons and rings, so thank you for that. Anything on your characters, retainers, mannequins are going to be removed, and all belt crafting recipes are going to be removed. And they're going to adjust some of the achievements that require a certain number of unique recipes completed, like crafting and equipped. They're going to adjust those to not take belts into consideration, so that's good. So unavailable after the release of 6.0, equipping a belt, obtaining a belt, using a belt, that's a belt coffer, buying and selling belts, affixing materia to belts, materia extraction from belts, repairing belts, leave and supply mission turn-ins of belts, and crafting of belts. So pretty much coffers containing only belts can be sold to shop vendors. So I think if you've got belts for sale and retainers, it looks like you will have to remove them from the market because you can't sell them on the market board anymore. And you should, if your belts are at 100 spirit bond, you should extract the materia before 6.0. And that's about it. Oh, and players, if you've got a leave that requires the submission of a belt, it'll change to a different item to be submitted in 6.0. So really the only thing we have to do is remove materia from belts. Or no, we can still do that. Pretty much just if you've got anything 100% spirit bonded. That's really about it, right? There's nothing else we really have to do. So after 6.0, we can take out materia. We can do expert delivery turn-ins still. We can sell them to a shop vendor. We can desynthesize them, and we can just throw them away. So let's see. Belts after patch 6.0, although you can't equip them, they're not going to be removed from the game. And the following belts will be given to the Calamity Salvager and can be retrieved if you choose. So anything that you had equipped, anything that was in your armory chest, anything that's equipped by retainers, and then everybody should know where the Calamity Salvagers are in the three main buildings, three main city-states. And then, as I've said before, the speed belt from Eureka Pagos is just going to be exchanged for a ring. So that is good news. I was just thinking about your, what about your glamour chest? But you can't see belts anyway, so they never went in a glamour chest. So belts are going away. We're going to get more ring and weapon slots, so that's good. New optional item is available. There's one. It is the emote pantomime. And no one asked for this, but it is kind of amazing.
I was pleasantly surprised.
It is $7, but it is pretty cute. I wish it was persistent. Mm-hmm. I bought this when it came out and used it, and it just does the whole show once. It doesn't just keep repeating it. I kind of wished it would just do it over and over again. Yeah. But it's cute. I guess, I don't know. I think you could probably make some pretty cute, we were talking before that we started recording. Some people have done some pretty cute videos using some of the pantomime, movements in different videos and stuff.
I see people doing them on edges of cliffs and doing them in silly places where it looks really fantastic, or it makes them fall off something and their character gets stuck somewhere. So, yeah, it's been really fun seeing what people are doing with this.
All right. Oh, I got teased because there's a section where you jump over an invisible wall. And I'm a Lalafell, so someone in the free company came over and they're like, I could step over that.
Huh.
That pretend wall your character's trying to jump over? I could just step over that. We have some tales from the Twilight, but I apparently couldn't drag myself away to read any of these. So I'm going to turn these over. Okay, who read Her Father's Daughter? Let's talk about it.
I think Kariri and I both read
I read it,
all of these stories.
Yeah, I read all of them. Yep.
Now, you were saying earlier that this was one of your favorites.
I really enjoyed it. I like Merleweb, though. And, yeah, just the idea behind it and, the piracy aspect and the father-daughter thing, and that she was basically, the reason that Leviathan showed up and basically destroyed her father, turned her father, and that she and he had like battle to the death, and that's how the whole story went down. It was really interesting to me to see a little bit more of her history. And I enjoyed it. And it's pirates, and I like pirates, so that's always going to be a win.
I forgot I did read this one. Yeah, no, I forgot I did read, and you get some history of the other. There's characters who make appearances in the story, and they're characters we know a bit about from playing the game. So that's always kind of nice.
And her sidekick person is mentioned. Was it Lawrence?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's just neat, and then like how she teamed up with her father's not like biggest rival, and that's he gave her the two muskets that she hunted down her dad with. So there was some good details in there to make it interesting, and I enjoyed it thoroughly.
Well, you're saying some stuff here, and I'm like, ooh, but I can't, because there's stuff in the story you haven't even gotten to that really even makes this story pop.
Yeah.
Because we've recently seen some things in the storyline with Merylweb talking about her two guns. Obviously, if you have played before in the earlier stuff, you know that Mistbeard is somebody else now in the game, a very close advisor to Merylweb. And so, this is, like you're saying, this story is really neat because it kind of touches on multiple characters. It shows like that, to me, like a spider web of like how all these characters relate.
Yeah.
And then it's also badass because it's pirates.
And, you just touched on something that we talked about with one of the other stories that we'll get to in a second, but the way that they tied this into new and old and, characters we've seen and characters who are not, are different characters, they did this in a way that was believable and kind of makes sense in the world, whereas in one of the other stories, I just don't think it works. So, I thought they did a great job on this one. What about speaking of which, let's see, which one is the one I'm thinking of?
Set with the
Set
Sun.
with the Sun, yes. Yeah, what did you think of that one, Ruby?
Yeah, well, here we go. I might as well let you kind of...
I guess I did read more of them.
No, I might as well let you kind of carry on, Kariri, because this is the story I think you're talking about with the more unbelievable twist that the characters knew each other. Now, I like this story for one aspect, and it was because of Yelta, the real Yelta, not the Lise turned into Yelta, and we get to see Yelta how she passes. However, you have this Fordola aspect of the story, which it's like, hey, we're going to make it all related, that Yelta's death is going to be because of her defending Fordola. And this is kind of what you're talking about, where it's like, we're going to force a connection, or it felt more forced here than it did in the previous story.
That's exactly right.
It was like completely small world. It's like, that one was like almost unbelievably small world. At least the other characters, you could, I guess, they had kind of a shared history. They kind of just like, this one felt like it was like inserted.
Yeah, I think Ruby's got it with the forced. It just didn't feel natural. It didn't feel organic to the world. It's like, we want to wrap up every loose end, and we want to weave every single one of these things together, whether it works or not. And this just didn't work for me. I thought it was interesting. I agree that, seeing actual Ida and seeing actual Ida and why she died, it was an interesting story to be told. I don't know that Fordola being the cause of it, or not really the cause of it, but being there to see it makes it a better or more believable or more interesting story. I felt like it was something that didn't really fit or didn't feel natural. That's all.
And then we have True of Heart. This one I didn't read now that I'm looking at it. It's Gridania
This one I read, yeah, and I'm a grid girl, so I had to read this one, and I actually kind of enjoyed this one because I feel like Connie Senna is not real fleshed out. Yeah.
Fleshed out.
Like, everyone knows Raoban. Everyone knows, you know the leader of Ulda. Well, I know Raoban's not, but Nanamo is. But the two of them together, you kind of know them, and you get to know them, and you feel, unless it's just me, I don't know, you feel more intertwined in their lives than you do.
They have stronger personalities. I will definitely say that.
Entirely, yes.
Well,
yeah.
And in game, they've told us their stories
Exactly.
a bit more.
So seeing a little bit of Connie's information, and seeing her actually ask for help, and be at a loss and having trouble, and it was kind of filling out her character in a way that I think is what they mean for these to do. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite one. It wasn't my least favorite one, but I did enjoy the little story. What'd you guys
it's pretty
think?
basic.
Yeah, it's pretty basic.
It's pretty basic story. I mean, like I like where it's going. It's very Padjal, so I mean that's cool. I don't think we get enough of the Padjal lore.
Mm-hmm.
But beyond that, it's just her going like, I can't hear the voice of the 12s. What do I do? Talk to my old mentor. And the time it took her to go talk to her old mentor, all hell breaks loose. And then, they figure they're going to all talk to the 12s Wood together. And that's kind of it. There's not really a whole lot to it.
Is it kind of anticlimactic?
It's a little anticlimactic. I will say this, and we hadn't got to the last story yet, but I do feel like as these stories go, I don't think they're as good as the previous one. We've said that the Burden of Duty, the one we talked about last week, was really great. And then we like the Meryl Whip story. Set with the Sun has some elements. This one's got elements. And we ain't got to the last one yet. It ain't my favorite. So it's like, I don't know if they ran out of steam, like you were saying, Yelta. Like maybe they ran out of some ideas or something. But they're okay. They're okay with me. They just are not like swashbuckling tales of adventure.
Well, didn't last year we have like a wow kind of one of them?
At
least one of them was like, that happened.
Paula, Polita, whatever, where it's like, that's where that monster comes from? Oh, shit. It was dark. It was very dark. And there was a couple that were like that, I think.
I'll have to go back and read them.
Yeah.
No, when I finish, for sure.
I think you have... okay, because I think last year's are spoilery maybe to where you are.
Okay.
I think maybe. I'm trying to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because I think I glanced at the Burden of Duty, the story with Hien and Yugiri. I think I glanced at that one when I had started back right at the beginning, before the first podcast. First podcast that I was back on. And I didn't get it. I was like glancing over it, and none of these meant anything to me, so I just stopped reading it, And now I've gone back and read it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's where he got his scars, and that's why she's so there with him, and, means so much to each other, and that's how he started training with, Gosetsu, and this story didn't feel forced. This is good storytelling. This is... they already have these relationships. This is why they're deeper. This is, and putting it in the context of like kids. I know you guys already talked about this, but this one I enjoyed a lot, so I just wanted to say it. This one, just seeing it through the eyes of kids trying to guess where he got all of his scars and stuff. It's just very, you can see it. You can picture, kids making up stories about, great battles and bad things that could have happened and caused that. And it was just, I thought this was good storytelling, as opposed to, as Ruby mentioned, unfortunately, the last one, An Empty Throne, just did not hit the spot. It just missed. I felt like this one missed entirely. Like, I got almost nothing out of this story. I don't know. What did you feel like for this one?
The same. It was pretty lame in my opinion. Emmerich's such a good character. I just felt like he wasn't. Maybe I skimmed it too much. Maybe I need to go back and read this. I just don't care about Atuiel. I like Emmerich a lot. It didn't resonate with me.
It really was me too, and I really, really enjoy his character, but it added nothing for me. It's like the whole thing. I don't know what story they were trying to tell with this. I really don't. I know it's called An Empty Throne, so, what they might have just, the whole thing was just think about where we've come from and where we're going, now or something, but I don't even know in the flashback what they're trying to tell us. I don't get it.
As I'm reskimming, I'm seeing some parts. It's like there's a couple of paragraphs of how there's a few people in the room and then they leave. And you scroll down a little more, and then there's a few more people in the room, and then they leave. And it's just like, stand awkwardly and then leave.
There's no intrigue here. This doesn't affect, you know what I mean? And some kid was going on about how great the Archbishop is, and it's not, and it made me kind of sad because, like you said, Amaric is a great character.
All right, well, let's talk about more happier things, like the creator of Final Fantasy talking with Yoshi P at Tokyo Game Show in 2021.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, so Tokyo Game Show is Friday. It's tomorrow. Y'all, it's tomorrow. So it's already happened by the time you listen to this. Let's see, 5 o'clock to 5:50 PDT, so tomorrow evening. You can watch the official broadcast. They're going to have live interpretation from Japanese to English, so that's good, because that's really hard sometimes. You have to go find a third party to translate for you. Hironobu Sakaguchi is going to talk to Yoshi P. And, I like this, though. This broadcast will not feature any new announcements regarding the Final Fantasy series. They're just going to sit down and talk about the appeal and potential of RPG.
At least they put that up front, so no one's showing up waiting to hear about a third support.
It don't matter. They're still going to cry.
Where's the 16 news?
They'll be expecting the 14 trailer and 16 news.
Mm-hmm.
And release dates for something else. We also have, Sakaguchi's going to play Final Fantasy XIV. The first thing I heard about this was, guys, the father of Final Fantasy can't buy the game.
Uh-huh.
He apparently was having a lot of trouble.
The wrong version.
Yep.
Twice, maybe?
Bought the wrong version. Something like that. But apparently he did finally get in. He did he did log in, made a little Lalafell, right?
Lalafell Master Race.
Yes.
Lalafell
got a little blonde Lalafell.
People are they're so cute. I'm interested to hear what they think. Well, they were talking about some tweets. So apparently Matsuno is having to communicate with him with Sei because Sakaguchi isn't familiar with MMO chat, so their conversation
and they said it's even worse than that, though, because he was on the free trial.
He's playing on the free trial. No. Oh, so you can't do, say, party chat, alliance chat, no novice network.
And later someone posted about his little Lalafell with yellow eyeshadow, because he did. He posted a picture of his Lala. It's so cute. It's so cute.
Oh...
I would love to hear what he thinks of this game. I really would. And, all the lore and all of the throwbacks to other Final Fantasy games.
Mm-hmm. He made a Lalafell with yellow eyeshadow. I have to go find the picture now. Yes, he did. Yes. And he's adorable. That's so cool. Well, and I'm just curious, how old is this guy? I mean, he's probably got to be years older than me, so... I'm always interested to hear when people older than me are playing MMOs.
I guess he's in his late 60s. Something like that.
He's 58.
He's 58.
Oh, he's 58?
He's
No
only
way.
58. Okay.
He must have been cranking those
he's a young,
Final Fantasy games out when he was in
guy.
his early 20s or something. But
yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
1983. He originally started working for Square in 1983.
Wow, good stuff.
Awesome.
Well, I think a lot of people are just interested in this in general just because it's Sakaguchi. I mean, the father of Final Fantasy obviously is playing Final Fantasy XIV, which could be regarded as, the salvation of the Final Fantasy franchise for what it was headed into with 1.0. Mm-hmm. So seeing two masterminds, Yoshida and Sakaguchi, together talking about what Final Fantasy means to people.
RPGs. Yeah.
So
Oh,
I think that's great. I think it speaks volumes about the culture within the Final Fantasy world. It's I get like those. I'm getting the Doctor Who vibe. You ever see those pictures of like all the old doctors hanging out with each other?
Yes.
Like it's like you're one of the club. You're part of the club now. You were an old doctor, and I see like these two great men hanging out with each other.
oh my gosh!
Talking
I
Final
gotta say,
Fantasy.
I just checked his Twitter feed, and he has a picture from today, so he is still playing. And he's got my chocobo, change clothes, and take commemorative photo. He got his chocobo. So I'm glad he's still playing enough and enjoying it enough. He's still posting about it. Was it days later, week, 3 days ago? Yeah, so 3-4 days in, he's still enjoying it, I guess.
We have changes to high-quality items in patch 6.0. They're basically taking away a whole bunch of high-quality items, and it's in order to reduce inventory bloat. I think we've talked about this before, too.
Came up in the live letter, yeah.
You're not going to be... Yeah. So, botany, mining, and fishing items won't be high-quality. Nothing that enemies drop is going to be high-quality. Nothing you can get from Tombstone and Script Exchange... and non-craftable materials obtained from certain contents. So you can still get equipment and crafted items, including intermediary materials such as iron ingots. You will still be able to get high qualities of that. And then what will happen to the HQ stuff we have in our possession at 6.0? Let's see. It'll remain in players' inventories, and the HQ will be HQ in name only. It won't do anything or provide any bonuses. You can't buy or sell it. It's that kind of thing. So what I would do, I wonder if you can still right-click on them and lower the quality.
Yes, you can still do that.
That's
Okay. Okay. That's all I could think of, because it's like, if you might as well. I usually have a lot of high-quality, I actually made a lot of money selling high-quality stuff, but in accordance to the above changes, botanist, miner, and fisher attributes and actions that affect gathering yield will be adjusted. In addition, quests, challenge log objectives, and achievements which require HQ items will be gathered for completion will be adjusted. I think there's also challenge log items and some other stuff that are about high quality stuff. I'm sure they're going to change all of those. So I guess womp to my money making schemes early on in patch cycles.
Yeah, it's a big change. I've seen the doom and gloom over it. I also not only do I harm myself mentally by going to the official forums, but I also go to Facebook comments at times, and I read what people have to say. Oh yeah, you want a real cesspool? Go to Facebook comments. So I've seen a lot of doom and gloom around this, but I saw a lot of doom and gloom around when the cross-world market thing happened, and it was going to destroy all the markets, and it did not happen. So I don't think this is going to destroy market. I think that you don't need high-quality cinnamon to make a level 80 or 90 item. It's not necessary. So this is going to help us out tremendously for item bloat, inventory bloat, and with the other little inventory fixes that we're getting as well. This should be a good thing. And I only expect more inventory as things go, but this is one way to, I guess, fixing that spaghetti code, fixing all the mistakes of the past.
Well, maybe they should stop giving us all these giant item bloats for all of our relics and stuff. I'm talking the crafting and gathering ones specifically. Why do I have to have 3 different things that I don't know, that I have to buy with script? They got to come up with a different plan for that kind of stuff. It's not that engaging. All right, letter from the producer, live part 66 digest has been released. We've already talked about all of this, but it's all out there now on the official forums. All the videos and slides and whatnot. So if you missed it or if you just want to refresh it, it's all here to be perused.
I've been loving all the other streamers and YouTube channels that do their live commentary on the job action video. It's just fun to watch people's reaction to see new jobs or to see like Well, see the summoner changes. I kind of like watching those reactions. I don't know if you guys have done that, but I watched a lot of Asmongold's reactions. I think he must have pre-taped his, because he had some reaction. He had a reaction to Scholar. I was like, do you know enough about Scholar to have this kind of reaction to it? Because he was like, oh, what is this, a walking mage? You know, that kind of thing. The Scholar jokes have been cracked for over the last couple of weeks. Anyway, I enjoy watching these reaction videos to the job action trailer because I like seeing the hype as we get into Endwalker.
I'm glad somebody does, because I just nope. And they 10 of them come up a day, and I'm like, I don't care. but
just oversaturated with content there, sis.
Oh, it's just like, I don't need 6 videos a day on, oh my god, Summoner. What I am interested in is this Endwalker Media Tour, and Gamerscape has we got here? An article. What is the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Media Tour, and when will info be released? Well, I think I already knew the answers the 13th, right? Did I win?
You win all the information of the Media Tour when the 13th happens.
I'm just going to read here. Earlier this week, the flood of creators and media outlets, ourselves included, being Gamerscape, were given the green light to let followers know that they had been invited to the Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Media Tour. It's no secret that the game has seen an incredible surge in players and interest over the last several months, and we've seen more than a few people asking the question, what is the Media Tour? So let's see if we can help explain it. Traditionally, before an expansion release, Square Enix will invite both members of the media, as well as influencers like YouTubers, Twitch streamers, etc., to get hands-on with the new content prior to its release, as well as time to talk with the producer and director. This happens in Japan, Europe, and North America. Available content during the tour has previously included access to 2 new field areas, a new dungeon, as well as access to the new major hub, allowing attendees to explore never-before-seen corners of the game, while also being able to get hands-on with upcoming job adjustments and the new jobs for that expansion. In years past, attendees would be invited to a physical location which would be themed to a location from the upcoming expansion. For example, a Realm Reborn venue looked like Gordania, the Stormblood venue was Kugani-themed, and the Shadowbringers venue gave off some strong Ylmer vibes. This year, however, due to the ongoing pandemic, Square Enix has chosen to make the North American Media Tour a remote event, meaning that attendees will be experiencing Endwalker from the safety of their homes. Now, with that out of the way, you're probably asking the Million Guild question, what will Gamerscape be covering, and when will you be publishing it? We plan to do our best this year to cover things as we have previously. You can see our landing page of coverage from the Shadowbringers event. Here, there's a link and some post links to get an idea of what we hope to do. Lastly, as per this developer's blog post, which talks about the Japan Media Tour, you can expect to see coverage from all Media Tour attendees on Wednesday, October 13th. Now, these are videos and things and articles I usually like to read because everybody kind of takes something different out of these. Yeah. You know, I'm always excited to see and what different people notice that other people didn't notice.
Yeah. It seems like people's specialities come out on these things, and we've got a vast array of streamers and folks that are going to be doing the coverage for this. Obviously, we're not, so but it's my fault. I forgot to apply for the badge. Just kidding. I forgot to ring the bell. Make that happen. No, when you go to something like this, it's a huge responsibility because you're getting a lot of info. And there's going to be people that go to this, then maybe you're some big name streamers, and they're going to go and they're going to have just hype. And that's all well and good. They're not going to know the right questions to ask. An outfit like Gamer Escape is going to be asking some hard-hitting questions about stuff.
Not worse tacos?
Yeah, hopefully. And then you're also going to have people who write guides, who do content that have to do with like rotations and things of that nature, and have specialties that they're going to go in there going like, I'm walking out of here knowing the new Dragoon rotation, or I'm walking out of here knowing the new Reaper or Summoner rotation, and they will have that info. So when you when the 13th happens and you're able to look at stuff for the media tour, you need to take a wide look because there's going to be people who cover stuff that other people aren't. Just because there's so much freaking info, you kind of have to have a specialty when you bring back the info. Unless you just like the straight up hype, and I'm sure there'll be some big streamers that are just like, I saw some cool shit. I got this moon lamp. It's awesome. Play Endwalker. I want to know the fucking summoner rotation. That's what I want to know.
I want to know how things feel. Right, I want to hear like the music was awesome.
How
or
fast were those abilities coming out
now?
now?
How did Paladin heal, and how fast
I want to know
were
what
the heals?
the new armor is going to look like. I want my new set of armor and how cool I'm going to look. I want to know. I want little fluff things too. I want to know if there's going to be are there mounts and minions? Are there new housing areas? Are there what's the new city look like? And I want to know. Obviously, everyone wants to know about the jobs and new abilities and, that stuff. And that has to be covered, and that's important. But I want the little details. I want the little fun.
Little menus, quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the Aetherite crystal's different. I mean, we've seen some of the Aetherite crystals.
Well, that's
but,
the other thing is, like, even, where you have chocobo porters in the other expansions, it's something other than chocobos. So what's this one going to be?
Yeah, Griffins
exactly.
or I look forward to it. October 13th's not that far away, I guess. All right. Reminders. The Gather Together Sweet Dream contest has ended. It's too late. You can't send us your picture.
Wah, wah, wah.
And we need
punchline to that.
Pictures.
Apparently people hate contests. No one wants this.
It's kind of weird.
Or it was bad timing. Or maybe everyone
we
already
talked
has
about this. It's like, well, people are clearly listening to the podcast, so it's not like the message is getting out. No, we didn't make a big stink on Twitter about this contest or anything, but clearly you guys are hearing it. But clearly it's like you don't need the mounts to listen to our episode. So I guess we'll hold on to the Chococope or whatever the hell it's called, minion code or mount code. And then we've got another one. We've got the Black Chocobo, I believe, as well. And we'll figure something else to do with it. I was thinking, like, maybe we can put a code word in an episode, and if you respond to us with the code word. So, like, we'll kick it back, like, 90s style or something. You have to call us. Be
the secret
the
word
secret
for the
word.
week.
Call us the 9th caller, and we'll get you your prize. $1,000 gift certificate to Kmart or something. I don't know.
All right. What's on tap? We do have a developer's blog, and the Final Fantasy 15 collab is back in black. So it's just basically talking about the Final Fantasy 15 crossover event and the new seasonal event replay feature. So, I didn't replay this because there was I haven't done it on my alt, so I actually did it on an alt. So if you've got questions on how that seasonal event replay feature would work, you can read this. Let's see. So if you've completed all the quests already, you can replay it again. But if you use the feature, you'll not be able to purchase or exchange quest-related items from the Ironworks hand or the recompense officers until each quest from the seasonal event has been completed. And there's 3 quests, so you have to make sure to set aside time to play all of them. And if the event ends before you complete the quests, you're not going to be able to exchange items related to those quests, even if you completed them prior to using the replay feature. So I would go, they've got for more details, go check the Nocturne for Heroes special site. So if you want to use the replay feature, I would go and double check that.
Now, this might be a dumb question, but you don't lose your mount for doing that or something, huh?
You know what? I don't know. I thought all the stuff that you can get from this event, you just get one time anyway, right? You can't, like, unique stuff. You
bought the car, right? You buy the car from the...
Yeah, it's
so you can't take that away, but I guess it would be the outfit. Like, don't you get, like, his clothes?
Well, and the 3 scrolls, yeah. Well, yeah, you get his pants and his shirt and his gloves.
Yeah, you get the main slots. Yep.
And then they also mentioned if you've never participated in the event, they highly encourage us to give it a try. So, if you've completed it previously, you can also experience the amazing quest again. So check it out. And it is running from Monday, September 13th till Monday, October 18th. And you start in Ulda and look for, I never know how to say her name, but Jaka to start. I think we've covered this event before.
Probably twice.
Actually, I'm not sure I've ever noticed how the stuff all looks dyed. It doesn't look too bad dyed.
No.
It's not my jam, but...
The car annoys the fuck out of me. It does. I understand why it's there. I understand the idea. And it was... Even seeing it in the quest where it did make sense, in the little...
Kinda.
Quest thing, I suppose. But, I just set foot in Shadowbringers for the first time. And I am still again, I'm stuck in the world. I can't even teleport yet because of where I am in the storyline. And I am, in this barren wasteland alone and, disconnected from the world. And some fucker rides by me in one of these cars. And it just took me right out of it. I'm like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was it's a stupid little thing. It was just,
No, I know exactly what you mean, though. Well, I think they, tried to make it fit into the world. It doesn't really.
It just looks so completely.
I mean, you could, it's like my immersion, but seriously, my immersion.
Bit.
People mock us, but it does take you out of it. I have the same problem with a lot of the modern outfits, too. And then the car looks even stranger when it's flying around.
Yeah. It's just kind of bizarre. I mean, I get why they did it. I understand the crossover, and I know a lot of people love this stuff, but yeah, the car. I don't mind them carrying over hairstyles and some of the clothes even, but this is just
the car itself is huge and jarring.
Lot, man.
It's a lot. All right, let's take some shots. We have a tweet from Musafar. Oh, this is anonymous. Yeah. The real twist, Final Fantasy XIV ending. Kariri, hold your ears.
I read it. I didn't understand it anyway.
Okay. Oh, good. Okay. The real twist, Final Fantasy ending, would be the Warrior of Light going full quasi-Azim, blazing an impossible third path between Zodiac's fury and Heidelin's defense to honor the loss of the ancients by bringing their legacy. Heidelin and Zodiac together with the sundered to stop the sound. Tweet. What? I just wanted to be like, no.
When anonymous shit posts, they typically are the right answer. And I saw this today, and I just had to post it because I would love for his shit post theory to be the actual correct ending to the thing. I don't know. When that moon passes in front of Heidelin, the earth in the background, it turns red and explodes. Maybe.
Maybe.
You can unplug your ears now, Kariri. It's fine.
All right. We do have happy hour. We do have listener question and fan mail. Oh, this one was hilarious. Vatar says on September 5th, you people have a delusional sense of what a clear party is. If it's not a cutting edge, highest end content, learning parties do not exist. There are only clear and farm. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Well, I'm not that embarrassed when I, immediately after reading this, when I was next logged in, pulled it up, and there were learning parties for Titania, which...
That's Bleeding Edge there, Yelta.
Oh, yeah, Bleeding Edge. So I grabbed the free company, honestly, and we went and helped her clear it. There's learning parties all over. If you click that, at least, okay, but just to make clear, at least on Excalibur and the Primal Data Center. I can't speak for other data centers, but there are learning parties all the time. There's learning parties for, all the primals. There's learning parties for, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. All the different people do learning parties for eye level synced coil still.
I was on earlier today. There were 118 different party, like different searches, a quarter of them were fucking learning parties. So I don't know what this person is talking about.
I honestly wasn't even sure if it was just a troll or not. When we get comments, this is a comment that was left on our webpage on GTFFXIV.com. So those are usually like, hey, comrade, by Gil or something like that. I don't know. So, it's just spam or whatever. So it was hard for me to tell at first. Now I read it and I was like, let me get up out of my seat, because I think I saw this comment right after we recorded last time. I got up and I went to my wife's computer and she was on, and I saw, of course, 4 learning parties for, like, I think it was E12S. Which, I mean, I guess that came out in 5.4, but that's not really bleeding edge.
I guess that's bleeding edge.
I don't know.
But,
it's kind of, it's
I don't know.
It's end of
Well, that's why my
Shadowbringers.
Titania was and I see all the other EX primals in there. Usually not like a Realm Reborn ones. The Realm Reborn ones, people don't do a whole lot. Or
let me tell you what this is what I really think is happening here. This is, if this is real, it's an individual who joins clear parties and doesn't know the shit.
Exactly.
You embarrass Vitar. You embarrass yourself when you join a clear party and you don't know you don't know what's going on. I think this was probably in relation to we have almost a matrix, if you will, a rainbow of colors that go from this is learning content, this is clear content, this is farm content,
learning phase 2,
and even within our free company, this came up as an issue long time ago, where it's about expectations. And I will always go back to the biggest problem everybody has with this game is your expectations for what Yoshida wants this content to be is different than what you're expecting, and so therefore you have a problem with it. Like dungeons, some people expect to pull wall to wall. Other people expect to learn when they're in a dungeon. The fact that you can marry these two things in the same kind of content is why you have post upon post upon post for the last 8 years on the official forum on whether wall-to-wall pulls are correct or not. It will always be that way because dungeons are a cesspool and because you have different expectations of what's going on in that type of content. Everybody does. So when we were creating farm parties or whatever we were doing, we were finding, even within our own free company or when we added pugs or whatever else, that people had a different expectation, and you have to be very clear what the expectation is. If we are doing a clear party, we obviously know 90% or whatever of what that content is. We're not getting stuck on the first phase. You weren't doing a clear party for something in Alexander and getting stuck on Faust. It's just that's not a clear.
Right.
That's not a clear. That's a learning party because somebody needs to learn how to do their rotation so we can fucking clear the DPS check so we can get to the other thing. It's not a clear party. And if somebody, maybe yourself, Vitar, is joining a clear party and you don't know your shit, you are the trap. You're the fucking trap. When they say it's a trap party, you're the trap. So when we are saying, hey, there's this rainbow of learning versus clear versus whatever, it's to set the expectation. You can call it whatever you want. You can make up a word for it and call it whatever you want, but the definition needs to be the same. And the definition needs to be, hey, do you know up to X mechanic? If you don't, get the fuck out or go watch a video or whatever else that you need to do. If you do and you're confident and you think you can pass it, join in. That's what it is. And if you're bluffing and people are you're getting your clear, and maybe you don't know your rotation, Vitar, or you don't know the mechanics in a fight, Vitar, then, I'm glad that you managed to bluff 7 other people and get your win, whatever that is. But
well,
that's my comment.
Was it last week or the week before what was it last week or the week before we were talking about how we had done it was a farm party. I can't remember. But it was very specific in the Party Finder description what strat we were using. And this person it's always a bad sign when they won't even stand on their spot. When you have to split everyone into clock spots and light parties. And they just, they just type, I've already cleared this. Okay. Yeah. And then we die 4 times and dissolve the party and kick you. Honestly, you don't dissolve the party because you signed up for the party we set the rules for, and if you don't like that, then start your own goddamn
and that's
Party
exactly
Finder.
what I was going to say at the end of it, is that, if Vitar is pro, right, pro league, top, all-star, get your game on, yeah, hey, then you're not going to be in our group because we're, little 7 children learning. You don't want to be in our group. But if we set a party finder, number one, if we set a party finder that says learning party, well, you obviously are wrong right here. Learning parties do exist. If I create a learning party exists. Your argument is moot. But the other would be if the 7 of us, and this almost goes back to that other shit we talked about last week. If the 7 of us have the same expectation that we're all going to learn a certain mechanic, and somebody joins in, like Yelta's talking about, and is like, I already know this mechanic, I'm not going to speak up, I'm not going to help, I'm just going to ridicule when we get to the thing and you can't get it. What are you doing here? Why are you in our party? You don't belong in this sense. If there's 7 of us that are delusional, and you as the paragon of sanity come in and start telling us we're crazy, you need to go. This is our asylum. Let us fucking be crazy. It's not your party. Go.
We signed up for this madness.
If we're going to be bad, 7 bad people, then we need an 8th bad person. You're too good. So go. Bye.
Well, and we even had to put it in, like, Novika's Bosom welcome channel. I think we even talked in there a little bit about read the content and stop making us look bad, because stop joining parties you have no business in, that kind of thing. And I think we even went as far as to like describe the way most of us were, slicing up types of parties. And it's not the same all over, and I'm sure it's very different on other servers and data centers.
Val Disney Arsenal does learning parties. I wouldn't call that bleeding edge either, So.
This is true. Whatever. They do. I don't know. I'm not embarrassed because they exist on our server, so
yeah,
I guess have fun with that.
If you're just right back to if you're joining a learning party, or if you're joining a clear party and you should be in a learning party, you're a shit. I'm sorry, but you are, and you don't deserve to be there, and you shouldn't be there, and you're screwing up everybody else's day. That's all.
All right. Oh, okay. But then, devil's advocate, Bal will do like these clear parties, and we know that like 3 of us don't know it, but he could yell stuff out.
That's totally different.
but again, we signed up for that.
Exactly.
Oh, I think we call them rusty farms. That's what we usually put up. Actually, that's spread. I have seen rusty farm up that wasn't a Novika's Bosom party. That's kind of hilarious.
At least you're setting the expectation. I mean, it's not like that there has to be 3 types of party, learning, clear, and farm, or 5X types of party, or whatever.
But you can use your
whatever
words.
You need to get it, emojis, whatever, to get the point across that,
As long as everyone is going into the experience knowing what they're getting into, That it's expectations. That's it. We could say it over and over and over again. It doesn't get any less true.
All right. I think we're done here. I think it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment, even if we disagree with you. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. Email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. And please rate us. Ruby, personal plug.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
And Kariri?
Carrie Sumasu at KHARIISUMASU on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.